I put a picture of my family and I on Instagram, and it went over on Threads. I didn't have like a couple of bad comments. I
Yeah.
had 57,000 negative comments about me.
Welcome to A Heart for Space. I am your host, Dr. Eiman Jahangir. Join me as we uncover what it takes to reach beyond the limits of what we think is possible and turn the biggest dreams into tangible reality. Jon, I'm very excited to have you here with us today on A Heart for Space. Thank you for taking the time and joining us.
Are you kidding me? What an honor. What a privilege to be on here.
No, thank you. You're too kind. I'm excited. You know, you and I have had the chance to talk about the things you do, and I'm excited to introduce you to our audience because really a lot of what we talk about here is how do we inspire people to move forward and chase their dreams and do things that they think they can't. And that's all the people I'm bringing on this show, much like you, are doing incredible things. But I want to go back kind of to the very beginning of Jon's life
Okay.
and talk about what it was like for you as a kid growing up.
Yeah, because when I when I do my assemblies or I'm speaking a corporation, I usually always do it in a third person. So I'm always talking about this little boy. So to actually share it like in this point of view, I have to kind of like think a little bit harder because I'm so used to talking about this little boy. So growing up in a good household in the San Francisco Bay Area, born in Chicago, outside Chicago, a small town called, well, it's actually a big town, Rockford, Illinois. And then we moved out when I was a year and a half old to the San Francisco Bay Area. Both my parents, great parents, awesome. And, they saw that I had some disabilities at a young age with my verbal stuff and my battle with that as I grew up. And then I was always put in like special needs classes. But back then, now I'm going to date myself right now. Someone asked me not too long ago, Jon, how old are you? I said, I'm old enough to remember when they played videos on MTV. I'm dating
Yeah.
myself, you know? Yeah. um, but
Oh, yeah.
I, they didn't have anything for special needs kids. So we were all put together. I was more nonverbal and some other issues I was battling. But I remember in my class, and I grew up in a town called Lafayette. It's on the east side of Oakland, and it's kind of more of a affluent area. And they put us all together. So there was children with Down syndrome, cerebral palsy, and
Wow.
myself, everybody. We're all put in
Yeah.
the same classroom. And we had this one girl, her name is Sonia. She was a little person. Nothing wrong with her. No learning, no speech. Just she was just a little person. And so she was put in that class with us. And so back then they tried their best, and then they tried to do integration where they tried to put us back into the mainstream classes, which kind of made things a little worse at the same time because you're going
Yeah.
in and out a lot. But it was new, and so I was in these normal class, or I should say, typical classes. But really in fourth grade, when I was really put back into the typical classroom full time, and so once in a while I would go out for speech therapy or different things. It made it hard. Definitely socially, it was definitely hard for me. I was held back, and then I was a kid that sat by himself every day. Even when I ate,
Man.
kids would throw garbage at me and stuff like that. So it was a challenging
And
time at the same
the
time.
teachers were also, I mean, didn't I feel like I read somewhere a teacher once told you, like, you're never going to be able to read and
Yeah,
write. And
yeah,
like, how do you deal with that as a child? I mean, that's, my son's in fifth grade, and I can't imagine how he would deal with that. So even younger.
yeah. That was in fourth grade when that happened. Yeah, teacher held me after class, dismissed everybody, and walked over and says, "You'll never be able to read, write, or talk. You'll never
Wow.
graduate from high school or college. You're a throwaway." And I remember feeling devastated. It's amazing. Out of that, her saying that, the millions of people I've able to talk to, or even watching today, and I can turn to them and
Yeah,
say, maybe you've heard of words worse than that. And I want to say, I'm sorry. And to watch people from across the world, I've had politicians cry by me saying that. Yeah,
that's amazing.
millionaires, all the different type of people.
Yeah.
So something really painful is actually identified to be something really positive and been really powerful for me to use around the world.
Well, and I
So
think you bring up a good point. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. We're all humans and we all have humanity. So we hear stories of that about a child being told that it resonates with everyone, even if you haven't felt that yourself, which is pretty powerful if you think about it.
Well, I was doing a school assembly outside Glasgow. The airport's it's in Paisley, and there in Scotland, and I'm doing this big high school assembly. Now they call them secondary school, so it's not a high school, but it's still older kids in this big auditorium. And this student stands up, walks down the stairs, comes up on the stage, and stopped me in the middle of my program. He goes, "This morning at breakfast," he goes, "my parents sat me down and said, 'We're getting a divorce.'" He goes, They pointed at me and said, 'It's your fault.'"
Whoa.
And then all of a sudden, he just collapsed. And before he hits the stage, I grab him. He starts crying and yelling out loud in front of the whole school. He goes, "John, I don't know what I did." And it's heartbreaking when you hear something like that.
Yeah.
But I tell that story today in my assembly for older students, not the younger kids,
Yeah.
and say, maybe you've heard that by someone who's supposed to love you or take care of you or protect you. And I'm going to say, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
And it's
students,
not your fault.
yeah,
Like, it's not that kid's fault. I
absolutely
don't
not.
care what he did. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, it's the parent's choice and decision. And
Absolutely. And I tell the students today, I say, whatever happens with parents is never our fault.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's tough.
I just told them, I just spoke at a school today and I just told the principal, I said, if I can just talk to some of these parents, I said, we could fix some of these problems that we're battling. She goes, "Oh my goodness, that's for sure."
You think you can. I mean, as a doctor, I'm talking to adults all the time and they don't want to fix the problems that they have that affect them.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I think it's shocking in life. And I'm not trying to like, I mean, I'm guilty of it at the same time.
yeah,
I eat
me
a
too.
steady, let's say I eat a steady diet of donuts. And I
Yeah.
go to you and say, like, why am I having heart issues?
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, that's me sometimes. I do these same things over my life. I know they're wrong or I shouldn't be doing it. And then I'm like, why am I battling inflammation in my body? Well, look what
Yeah.
I've been doing. So,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
right now I'm like, oh, I'd like to lose 5 pounds, but then, we have Easter candy. So what are you going to do?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
impossible.
Those
So
chocolate bunnies
you
don't eat
seem to
themselves.
serve as no, they don't eat themselves. You seem to be serving as someone who is lifting these kids up, but I guess for you in your life, who helped you lift you up? You said the fourth grade teacher, maybe that's not the person, but like, how did someone look at you and say, you know what, your worth is higher than what
Yeah.
you're valued?
Great question. Great question. I think it comes to mind. I think there's along the way, I can look back, there's a lot of different people who've stepped in and helped me out. But I think there's like three or four that could pop in my mind right away. One is, it all started with this. I read an article in a magazine. A lady who was a vice president of a bank took her boy to school, dropped him off in the classroom. Principal teacher tells the mom, "We've tried everything. There's no hope for your child." She gets on a train, goes into the city, and on this crowded train, she says out loud in front of everybody, "There's got to be hope for my little boy." As she's crying. I finished the article, looked to the bottom of the page, and saw it was my mom who wrote it. And that's how I started to share my story.
Whoa,
I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for my mom. She took me to
whoa,
doctors, speech therapists. When everybody was negative, my mom's always been positive. Well, I guess literally I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her too. And so, yeah. Um, that then I would say the second biggest, the next biggest influence in my life was my first day of high school.
okay,
Couldn't find my class, lost, confused. I'm standing in the hallway, didn't know where to go. I'm about to cry, and the door opens, and a man walks out. He goes, "You look lost. Let me help you out." His name was Mr. Edwards.
yeah,
And he looks at this piece of paper. He goes, "Oh, I have you a class later on today." Mr. Edwards is the man who taught me how to read. He worked on my
amazing,
speech.
yeah,
Every day at the end of school, I would go to him, give him my backpack. He organized my home.
yeah,
Going to my junior year in high school, he left. Never saw me graduate. He never saw me go to college.
huh,
Then several years go by. I'm doing what I'm doing for my career. I'm a keynote speaker at a conference for business people, Oakland, California, the convention center. Stand on the stage, I tell my story, and they give me a standing ovation. Well, they bring the lights up, and I'm watching these thousands of people clap. Look to the back room, he's there. He saw my picture, drove 10 hours to watch me speak.
wow,
I jumped off the stage, I gave him a hug. I go, "Mr. Edwards, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here today." He goes,
yeah,
"John, I'm so proud of you." I
yeah,
start walking back up on the stage to finish my session, and he stops. I stop one more time. I go, "Hey, Mr. Edwards, you still helping students?" He goes, "Every day." So number two person is Mr. Edwards.
that's
Wouldn't be here today.
awesome.
It was a teacher. One adult. That's also something in my life.
And he took like very active steps to help you organizing backpacks, homework. But even I think people don't appreciate just an adult telling a younger person that like they believe in them. I was giving a talk at a college this week and the dean was going around and he's like, we went to lunch after my talk and he told the hostess, what are you studying? And she's like, I want to be a cosmetician, which is great. But he's like, have you thought about maybe being, coming and being a nurse? You should think about being a nurse, but like always telling someone you can do more if you want. You can, and I think even just hearing someone say, I believe in you, I see the worth in you, can be quite powerful.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think there's affirmation and there's times to take action. And that's why I would go to this number third person. I went to play high school football. I was terrible. Never played any sports like that before. Like I played baseball and basketball, but not, I mean, football. When I'm overseas, I say American football. So I go out to practice. I'm not very good. Don't know what to do. And we had this guy on our team who was like a man, giant. This guy's huge. And he goes, stand here, do this, stand here. He was our big star athlete. So first day of high school, don't know. I hated lunch because I kids would throw garbage at me, things. I never was always by myself. First day of middle school, a girl told me to go sit by myself, and everyone started laughing. So it was just like, okay, now it's high school, it's lunchtime. I don't want to be there. It's just I'm not looking forward to it. I walk into the lunch area, crowded place, and I'm like, I don't know where to sit. My heart's racing. I've already been late for class because I couldn't find it earlier. And that guy goes, "Hey, John," sit next to me. His name is
Wow.
Craig.
Yeah.
Uh, he's still my best friend to this day. Craig changed my life just by sitting sit next to me. He went on to play football, had a great career, played in Division One. He was a Secret Service agent for years, was a police officer. I was battling some anxiety and panic attacks, and I was in Mont Jordan doing schools. That dude jumped on a plane and flew there so I wouldn't be by myself. In our 40s, he did that for me.
That's
Now we're
amazing.
in our 50s, he's still my best friend.
Yeah.
It took, there's a guy who did action. One man changed my high school career, and I was a boy at the time, but
Yeah.
changed my high school career just by saying, sit next to me.
That's
And,
amazing.
and I was the last person. I don't mean to dominate this. I know it's supposed to be
No, no,
question and
this is
answer. I'm so
great.
sorry.
No, this is
Um,
about you. People don't want to hear about me.
well, and I got to say this. I don't think I've ever broke it down to saying four people helped change my life. I don't think I've ever done this before. So it's kind of the first time I've ever said it like this.
I love it.
Um, so I had a girlfriend a little bit in high school, not much, but my senior year in high school, I met this girl who she was a little bit older. She was in college and she was finishing her first year. I was about to graduate and we started dating. Well, I was going to that school, so we started dating all throughout college together. So she would help me with my homework, do my homework. No, I'm just joking, but she was there and we've been married for 31 years next month. My wife has been
Wow.
there. So we've been together since we're 18. She has been a rock in my life, always been there for me, supported me, picked me up when I'm down, been honest with me.
Yeah.
Even when I don't do a great job speaking, she'll be the first one to tell me that probably wasn't your best, in an
Yeah.
encouraging way to try to help me out. And so my wife has been incredible in my life.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you find a partner that you're truly a partner with, there's nothing as powerful in this world. So that's
Yeah,
awesome.
I remember when I first started about to get engaged, someone pulled me off the side and said, "John, your spouse is your biggest asset or your biggest liability. Make
Yeah.
sure you're making the right choice." And for me, it's been unbelievable. She's been incredible.
That's fantastic. And I know you guys travel the world together. Um, and you do interesting things I know you speak, but there's another part of you where you're using feats of strength, the physical side of your life. When did strength training, when did you start doing that? I know you said you were playing football in high school, but
Yeah,
how did
working
that
out.
happen? And how did that help build your sense of self, I guess?
Yeah, so okay, I was 15 years old, and a guy came into an assembly. And he ripped a phone book. I don't do that anymore because we don't have phone books anymore, but I do read the paper. He did some other different things, and he shared some inspirational stories. He didn't share his own, but he shared inspirational ones. And when I got to college, I called him he mentored me in that.
Uh,
And I traveled with him for a lot of years. He would teach me how to do assembly. He goes, "Oh, you're talking a little fast. Pause here." He goes, "You're funny." He goes, "But don't go joke, joke, joke. Give a little pause. Let people give a chance for the crowd to laugh." And he taught me. But I'm a product of a school assembly. I saw it. I saw the reaction he was getting from everybody around me. I go, I think I want to do that.
yeah,
And that's how I got into all this. So, school assembly helped touch my heart. It's why I do this today.
that's awesome. When do you think you were first like you realized you were capable of doing something that seemed impossible? Like, I wouldn't think I could break a bat, for instance. Like, when did you were like, I think I can do this?
Yeah. So, okay. So I knew. So it took a lot of work to get to where I was at. I'm not I'm not naturally a great athlete, it took a lot of strength. I've never done steroids or drugs. I always tell kids, I go, "This is all McDonald's." That's joking. But
Big Mac.
it's yeah, yeah, exactly. It's all been a lot of hard work and stuff. But yeah, it took some strength. I used to work in professional sports for a lot of years, mostly in Major League Baseball. We do talks for all the teams. And so we would do the feats and different stuff like break bricks and do all that stuff. But we like, oh, let's do something different. And so we took a frying pan, folded it in half. We're like, that's an impressive. And then we rolled it up, like, that's kind of cool. And that's how we started rolling it. And then we were doing an event one time, and a couple of baseball players go, "We don't want to go. We don't want to go." We're like, "Come on, everyone's coming. You got to come." And the guy goes, "If you break this bat, we'll come." And so it was actually my buddy who was having me, the guy who mentored me. He goes to swing over his leg, and the guy stopped him and says, "No, you got to put it on, like, press it and break it."
Wow.
And that's how you do it. And so we did, and that's how we started breaking baseball bats. And yeah, it's an older baseball player. His name is Mark McGuire. It was a long time ago. And that's how we started breaking baseball bats all those years ago. So that's how it kind of came into all that stuff. So it's kind of along the way we did stuff, and then kind of has grown and changed a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, the phone books is an interesting one because you're right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the school I spoke at today was pre-K to second grade. So that's the 4-year-olds to like maybe 7-year-olds, something
Yeah.
like that. And they've never seen a phone book. They don't know what a phone book is. And I said
Yeah.
that to the crowd. I go, "You guys never even seen a phone book?" And the teachers laugh.
Yeah. Pretty soon the teachers won't know what a phone book is.
So true. Because a lot of schools I go in, and like teachers are like, "You spoke to my school." After
That's
what,
right.
I started this in 94. So what we're at 32 years now I've been doing this. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And you were still in college when you started it, right?
Yeah, yeah. I started doing
So
this in college. Yeah.
what was the urgency? Like, why were you like, I got to do this?
It wasn't so much the urgency. I felt like it was like I just wanted to. Like I felt this calling kind of a thing. Started my nonprofit. I didn't even know what I was doing. I put together a nonprofit at 20 years old, and it's the same nonprofit we've had all these years. And we had to start kept doing it, and then like it was kind of interesting. More and more stores started just opening, and there's word of mouth. And I've never really been great at promotion, but I've always tried to pursue relationships and friendships. So when I
Yeah.
meet someone, it's not trying to get a speaking engagement, or it's trying to get into, or someone to give towards our charity. It's more about just being friends. And out of that, things happen. So I always pursue friendships and relationships, and doors have always opened that way. And I think because you do that after a while, and you've been doing it for a long time, the word gets out that you're legit, for a better, of lack of better words. And you kinda anything that's ever been said that's been negative, I'm sure there's been stuff, you kinda outlive it after a while,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, I mean, you've spoken at 40 countries,
So, almost 80 now.
millions of
Yeah.
people at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, like
So,
10 million face to face, over
wow.
10 million, and then online to over 200 million.
So, how did you realize that this was much bigger than just like your story? I know you use your story.
Yeah. I don't know, I think it's involved. I don't think you think that. I mean, I don't think that. It was kinda cool, like, I'll show you this. I'm grabbing my phone just because I wanna show you this. It
Yeah,
just
please.
happened. So last week, I went to a wedding from some people who are Japan that we're friends with, and and it was in Oregon. And so this lady walks up to me as I'm trying to get some food at the reception. She goes, "You're my son's hero. They love you." And so she pulls up this picture. I don't know if you can even see that.
Yeah.
She goes, "We were in Cambodia, and you came and did a school, and my kids were moving. We have lived there, and we were working there, and our kids were at that school." And I go, "Oh, you gotta tell them." I said, "Hi." They're like, "They're here." So they came back
No
over,
way.
and we redid the picture. And that's them holding the camera with the picture, and we reposed it all
That's awesome.
15 years later, you know. So it's stuff like that, you know, it kind of
Yeah.
touches your heart, you know, that you know you're
Yeah.
making a difference, hopefully.
That's amazing. Now, a lot of your work is anti-bully type work. I mean,
Yeah, I try not to say the word bullying in my assembly because, like, if you do schools in New Jersey, if you use the word bullying, if a student comes to teach about being bullied, they have to fill out a HIPAA report or something like that. So I try not to. So it's all about it's an anti-bullying program, but I don't ever use the word bullying. Like even when I
gotcha.
talk about suicide with older students, I never use the word suicide. I said don't give up on the gift of life. So
Mm,
I try to be careful. I believe words have power. This is
yeah.
my own personal belief. Like, I'm very careful what I say about myself. Like, I don't say I don't tell my wife I'm battling anxiety. I go, "I feel anxious," because I don't
Yeah.
wanna give that word anxiety more power over my life than it already has.
Yeah.
So, it's just me personally, that's what I do. And so, it is an anti-bullying. And then if I speak to corporate stuff, it's more about, how to pursue, like, happiness and how the things I battle. So, my things with corporations, I talk about the fear of failure, the fear of people, and the fear of the future. Because those are the 3 things I really battle in life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really good. I have like, my mind's crazy in the fact that I always tell people I have a Ferrari mind with a Vespa brakes. But, like, I can relive everything in my mind. Like everyone always jokes about my memory, and it's like Netflix. I see everything like a movie all the
Yeah.
time. Like, I can go back to every hotel I've been this year and tell you where everything's at in the room. Like, it's just the way my
Wow.
mind works.
Yeah.
But when something negative happens, I can relive it too. I've made a mistake. I said something stupid, which I do all the time. I always try to be funny. I was playing golf with this billionaire guy at one time, and he goes, "John, you're funny. You're so nice. I like to stay in contact with you." He goes, "How can I get a hold of you?" And I looked at him on my Venmo, and he didn't find that very funny. And so I mean, I blew that
Yeah.
contact, you know, just trying to be funny, you know. And so, but I can relive that in my mind. So that's why I talk about the fear of failure. Is like in my life, I'll make a mistake and I'll look at that a lot of times, and I can't be past possessed. I have to be forward focused, always looking
Yeah.
forward down the road because I'll think about the mistake I made so many times, you know. And so, and that's what I battle. And the fear of people that I battle with is not I'm extreme extrovert, but it's I'm a people pleaser. So I'm afraid to say no to people because I'm afraid they're not going to like me. And that's my battle there. And lastly, the fear of the future. I think we all battle at times. I mean, right now in our world today, what's going on, we just don't know what the future holds. So those are my issues. I have a lot of them.
We all do. Has there been a moment in one of these talks you've given where an audience member has stopped you cold? I mean, it sounds like that child who talked about his parents divorcing is one of those moments. Has there been another one that sticks out?
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't thought about that in a while. Until as soon as that popped in my head was I was in Connecticut doing a high school assembly, and I've told my story. I'm gonna tell this a little bit about my daughter, just a little bit, and I tell all that, and I'm about to kind of wrap up and go into the teachers, and this boy stands up and says, "John, I got something to say." I mean, we're in an auditorium. There's like 1,200 students.
Wow.
And he goes, "I don't have any friends. No one likes me in this school. I'm always alone." And all of a sudden, the right hand side, this big, huge, like it was like a football player because he had a jersey on. It was a Friday because they play at a game or something. He gets up and he walks over and he just goes to the kid and just hugs him. And the kid just falls apart. And then all of a sudden on this side, this other student stands up and goes, "I'm always by myself." And another kid stands up over here and walks over to him. And the girl stands up. Next thing you know, you're seeing these pockets break out of people saying, "I feel alone." And like these students, not just popular ones, but just students going, hugging each other. And I
Yeah.
turned to the principal, and I go, "What do I do?" I go, "I don't know what to do right now." He goes, "Let it go. We'll just take
Yeah.
as long. We'll hold the bells." And it was probably about 10 minutes that we just let students like do that in this kind of, and that's probably one of the ones that stand out in my mind. I haven't thought about it in a long time, but stuff
Yeah.
like that. Those are the special things.
Yeah. Powerful and spontaneous, right? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah, and I think too, going into a talk, I think the big thing for me I've learned over the years is like you want to be organized, you want to have your plan, what you want to do, but don't be married to it. And the fact like be flexible, something like that that's organic that happens. You always want to let that happen. And so I try to listen to my heart more when I'm speaking. I might even change a little bit. It's nothing where people will know that it's a different talk. It's the same talk I give, but it's changed to a little bit for myself so I know I can work with the crowd because everyone's so different. Every crowd's
yeah.
different.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's always interesting because I've spoken to different groups and interest wanes. The what people are interested definitely varies. And you're right, you do have to be flexible.
Okay, I know this is not about you, this podcast per se, but let me ask this. Have you had a mess up on stage?
I mean, I don't think I've had a straight up mess up, but I've definitely had a miss, meaning where I didn't connect with the audience at all. And
Yeah.
that's tough. That's tough for a speaker. I don't know if
Like,
you've ever
is
had
that
that.
is that the way you felt?
That's how I felt, which maybe
Yeah.
was not accurate, right?
No, I would say
Yeah.
don't ever listen to that because we've
Yeah.
all had. I have walked out of off the stage going, I blew it.
Yeah.
And people walk up to me, that was the most incredible thing that I've ever seen. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think you're at the same program. I just totally and like so just so you know, don't ever listen to that yourself. I'm talking about, but you've never had a blunder on stage where like I've fallen off a stage. I've done stuff like
Wow.
that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like you haven't had
No.
anything like that. Okay, okay, good.
It'll probably happen next week. No.
Yeah.
Well, you also have a Guinness Book of World Records
Yeah.
record, which is pretty nuts. How did you know you would be able to do that? And is it for rolling frying pans? Is that what the
Yeah, yes. So we were doing an event outside of London, and it was my wife's idea. This is all Rhonda, my wife. This is all her thing. So it was. I broke a 9-year-old record for the tightest roll frying pan. And then I took two frying pans, I put them together, and I rolled it up for the tightest roll. And that's the one I still have to this day. And I did it a long time ago. Next year will be my 20th anniversary having it.
wow?
Now, I've been in my pictures in the 2009 and 2010 books. So I've had it a long time ago. Yeah, I still hold that second
I
record.
mean, that's pretty cool. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm insecure. I got to tell people about it.
look, I had to go to space to deal with my insecurity, so don't worry. Now, what do you think world records, because it was your wife's idea, it wasn't your idea, but what
Mhm.
do they teach us about limits we accept too easily in our lives? Because I don't think anyone goes in their life thinking, I'm gonna get a world record, but maybe they could.
No.
So what do you think, what are the, like, speed bumps we put in our own way as humans? How do we
Well,
negate
okay,
ourselves?
that's a great question. Man, I think we always kind of put a lid on stuff that we always can grow past. I know I do that personally. When I did the world record, it wasn't to get accomplishments. Actually, it was to be able to open the doors to be able to speak to more students. That's the only
Nice.
reason why I did it. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like, oh, I want to do a world record. That's my goal, and this is my thing, and this is. It kind of happened organically, and just kind of it was to be able to speak to more students around the world. That was the only reason,
Yeah.
and it really has. It's opened a lot of doors, and
I mean, I
so
believe it because people
yeah.
think it's cool. It
Yeah,
is
yeah,
cool.
yeah, yeah. Well, the crazy part is this: they get 40,000 requests a year for a Guinness World Record. They only approve 10% of them,
Wow.
and then out of that 10%, only a fraction were actually accomplished. And out of that fraction, the only picture will get mentioned in a book. And the fact that my picture's in one and mentioned in the other
Yeah.
one, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. So it's a very very small thing that had
Do you
happened.
do you have a copy of that book somewhere?
Oh, totally. Yeah,
Okay, good.
absolutely. But the
Good.
best part is like it's in other countries too. So I've signed it in Arabic and Hebrew. It's been brought to me in
Wow.
Japanese and in Chinese and different ones. So yeah, I thought it'd be different in different countries, but it's pretty much the same book in all just different languages and stuff like that. Now the
Yeah.
pages are a little different in some of them, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
So
cool.
I would say,
That's
like
cool.
with I think like trying to like get a record and dreams and all that, man, it's so hard. You want to. I think we always got to be careful who we surround ourselves with. I always tell students, be careful who you tell your dreams to.
Yeah.
Because there's people who want to be. I have a friend of mine who says dream makers and dream breakers. There's people who
Yeah.
are dream makers and dream breakers. And, you want to be careful who you surround yourself
Mhm.
with. I tell students for years, you show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yeah.
So if you really want to accomplish things in life, make sure you surround yourself with great people.
Yeah. No, we talk about that in my talks. I do think you need to tell people your dream, but you're right. You need to tell a select group, and they'll open
So true.
doors for you. They'll lift you up when you're having a hard time. They'll celebrate your win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And help you pick you up when you lose or make it or fail.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which will happen.
Yeah.
You will fail. This is just
Yeah.
that's part of it.
I was doing a talk for the Vikings, right? This is years ago. They lost. Don't have me speak to your team, but I told the guys that day. I said the biggest critic you have in your life is not the media. It's not social media. It's not the fans. It's not the players on your team. It's not the coaches. It's not your family member. It's the person who lives inside of here.
Yeah.
We're our worst critic. And
Yeah.
if we can get past that and be positive the way we speak to ourselves, the way we, pick ourselves up when things don't go our way, it makes things a lot easier. So I would
Yeah.
say just be a little nicer to yourself.
Yeah.
Even in this, when things aren't going your way, it doesn't mean it's going to stay that way forever.
Yeah. No, that's true. And your website has a tagline, which I like. It's finding success by overcoming fear.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What is the specific fear that you had to overcome, and have you actually overcome it, or is it like it's still there and you just gotta
Oh, I think that's a constant thing. Yeah, I
yeah,
think
it
I
never
think
goes
from
away.
yeah, I think it's like a dimmer switch. It gets brighter and gets less for
Yeah.
me personally.
Yeah.
And at times I think I'm the one that controls that dimmer switch because the more I put on that makes it can seem brighter than it really is. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of times I've walked into a situation and I've made it bigger than it was. And there's sometimes things have happened in the past, and to be honest, I've rewritten history in my mind. So I think it's worse. So when I get into this situation, this next one, I think
Yeah.
it's gonna be like the last one. It's not that way at all.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I think the fears for me, if it's fear with it feeling anxious or it's the fear of people liking me. I didn't grow up with a lot of friends, so I treasure those friendships. As I've done this as a career, man, people can say a lot of mean things.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of hurtful things said to me. I think it was probably it was like the around 2010 when like Instagram I think came out or whatever it was one of the, and then a little bit after that the blue check thing came out, like you got verified. So I got verified really earlier. And on it was Twitter and then Instagram and Facebook, wherever it was. I can't remember. I got all three pretty fast. And I remember back in the day when you got it. Now a lot of people have it, but back in the day
Yeah.
they only had a select few and stuff. But they wrote me this email, and one of the emails it would say saying, "Now that you've been verified, be careful because now you're a target for people to be mean to you."
Wow.
And then it's so true.
That's crazy.
I've had people say the horrendous things in my years on social media. I've had death threats to everything you can say about. They've said
My
about me, my
gosh.
wife, my daughter, and all this stuff. Hey, I don't know I don't use Threads. You know what Threads is like the
Yeah.
Instagram. I
Yeah.
didn't know I was even on it.
Oh, you have an account.
I I do. I do. I guess I approved it or something like that.
Yeah.
I put a picture of my family and I on Instagram and it went over on Threads. I didn't have like a couple of bad comments. I
Yeah.
had 57,000 negative comments about me. I'm not talking about like really mean things.
That's
57,000.
insane.
It was insane. I deleted it because I'm like,
Yeah.
okay,
No,
I'm
this
not
is
doing it.
terrible. I mean, it's
Yeah.
comical almost how.
Yeah, it was really, really bad. It was one thing to have 1,000 or a
Yeah.
couple of hundred, but to have 57,000 people say something mean, I'm like,
You
oh my
you
gosh,
should
that
have
hurt.
contacted the Guinness Book of World Records. You might have had a second record on your hand.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I'm so insecure. I was watching a football game. They had a huddle. I thought they were talking about me.
That's good. Well, I mean, it sounds like you've dealt with perseverance, obviously, because you're still here. You've been doing this for years. What does that like feel like in a daily reality? Like when things are getting hard, when there's
Mm,
57,000 negative
yeah.
comments, what are you doing to just like move forward to keep at it?
I think it's what you focus on. Do I focus on the negative or I focus on the positive? Like the little kid today who's like 6 years old and says, "I'm so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing." A 6 year old told me that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and it's just I'm gonna focus on that and not someone who doesn't like the way I do my hair or that I've had these
Yeah.
highlights for 20 something years or I look fat or whatever they're saying or whatever they're
Yeah.
gonna say. I'm gonna try to focus. Do I do that all the time? No. But I try to focus on that and just persevere with that and know that you're making a difference. Hopefully you're making an impact.
Yeah.
I can't change everybody's life, but hope I can, it's like the old starfish story. Remember that? Did you ever hear the starfish story about in
No.
Reader's Digest? You know, old man walking the beach with his granddaughter and she's throwing starfish out in the water. And he goes, "Sweetie, what are you doing?" She goes, "I'm trying to save these starfish." He goes, "Look how many hundreds of starfish are here. And that's just this beach. There's thousands around the world. What difference does it make?" And the little girl picks up the starfish, reaches back and throws as far as she can out into the ocean. He goes, "Makes a difference to that one." So hopefully you're making a difference. You can't change
Yeah.
everybody's life, but hopefully you're making a difference.
No, that's good. That's good. And the podcast, this one that we're doing, is hopefully reaching people who are afraid to pursue that thing, they may feel called to do. Maybe they've accepted a story that's not true about themselves, someone back when they were younger. I mean, I have a story about that where when I was interviewing with NASA in 2009, one of the astronauts came out, they're like, "Hey, they really liked you. But we're wondering if you'll be okay not being a doctor. Because if you're an astronaut, if you become an astronaut, like with NASA, you don't have time to do medical work." And in the back of my head, I heard my dad, who for his whole life was like, doctor, lawyer, engineer. These are the three things you need to be. And so, I mean, it wasn't that he was being negative. It was just that I knew that in his mind, if I became an astronaut, that wouldn't be doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Yeah.
And so I've accepted that that was my truth, right? I was going to be a doctor, a lawyer. I mean, there's worse things that could be your truth, I suppose. So what do you say to someone who's like wants to pursue that dream, but like they're holding themselves back for whatever reason, anxiety, self-doubt,
Yeah. That fear, the fear we've talked
fear.
about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it goes back to like what's your desire? What do you feel a call to? Because I don't feel like this is just my dream doing what I'm doing. I feel it's my
Yeah.
calling.
Yeah. I would
Dreams will go
agree.
up and down. A calling will be there for you.
Yeah.
It's like I don't try to communicate to an audience. I try to connect. That's like my other thing. So, and I also think I'm not trying to pursue a dream. I'm trying to pursue my calling. That's
Yeah.
that's what I feel.
Yeah.
And so, what do you feel deep down is your calling? And then when you hear those negative things that pop in your mind like that, you got not well. It was a positive thing because your dad's trying to inspire
Yeah.
you.
But it was
But
negative for that purpose at that time.
exactly,
It held
yeah.
me back.
Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah.
I think there's times, to be honest, I felt that way. All my cousins in my family are all super successful, done really well financially. Most of them went to like Harvard Law School and all these different places or all these great schools and stuff. And I roll up frying pans, it's like, so like they're all lawyers and all these different things. And so, yeah, you can start feeling that way. But I say just be careful if you feel you're calling, focus on that, work on that, and try not to get so distracted on these other different things. There's these boys in the backyard and they dug a deep hole. I'm a story guy, so I like to tell
Yeah.
stories. So I
No, they're great.
apologize.
They relate to
So
people.
And they put a board across the hole and they're trying to ride their bike over the board. And the first boy goes and falls off. Second boy goes and falls off. And next one falls off. And another boy over here is just watching. They go, hey, why don't you try? So he gets on his bike and he rides right across with no problem. And they go over to him and go, how'd you do it? He goes, I wasn't looking where my bike was at. I was looking at the end of the board where I needed to go.
Mm,
And so many times when I'm going through a situation that's really tough or overwhelming, I go, I can't look where I'm at. I got to look where I'm going.
yeah.
And so maybe you're frustrated. You're watching this today. Don't look where you're at. Look where you're going. You have all
Yeah.
the ability, the talent on it, and you're stronger and you're more powerful than you think you are. And when you're struggling, this is the important part. When you're struggling and you feel like giving up, talk to somebody. I always tell people you don't have to do life by yourself. And you feel like giving up, remember this too. We'd rather have a broken you than not have you at all. There's always hope in life. No matter what you're facing or what you're going through, there's always hope.
Yeah. No, that's powerful. It's tough, you know? I mean, people have, very different upbringings and
Yeah.
opportunities and yeah. Um, what's the one thing someone can do today, like today, not someday, to begin rewriting that story that maybe they've told themselves, you know? That they've told themselves they're not smart enough or they're not talented enough or people don't like them.
Yeah. I think every time that pops in your mind, you just like, you take that and you push it off to the side. You can't let it come in and lay a seed and keep like watering it.
Okay.
You gotta get rid of it right away. It's easy to say and it's hard to do because it takes practice. So
Yeah.
when that negativity comes in, don't start dwelling on it. You just go, I'm pushing it off to the side. I'm gonna focus on the positive.
Yeah.
And you're not trying to live in some like happy place in your head and not being realistic. But at the same time, you start doing that and watch things will change.
Yeah.
Like you start thinking, being thankful for everything. I get up out of bed and I'm saying, I'm thankful for this. I'm thankful for that. I try to be more thankful than I am looking on the negative things.
Yeah.
So I look at the negative things. I can look at a lot of different things that I've seen that seem tough. But if I stay thankful, it changes my atmosphere or my perspective. And the atmosphere around me actually does change. So I would say that's the first thing you do is like you just take a little step like that. Try not to let that negative thing dwell inside of you, and then be more thankful for things. Like I have a neighbor who's going through a tough time. And he's like, I got this, I got this, I got this, and I got this. Nothing can go right.
Yeah.
And I look at him, I go, your house is paid for, your car is paid for, you can pay
Yep.
all your bills. And I'm saying, look at the other side. When my daughter was little, we always say, what's the flip side? What's
Yeah.
the flip side? We always talked about the flip side of stuff. And so I always try and encourage people, just to look at the other side of stuff. Be more thankful. It does change the way you perspective on life, and it helps you. It helps you. There's one little thing you can do right there. It doesn't seem like it's big, but I'm telling you, you do that, you're going to see like, oh my goodness, look at things that change in my life.
Yeah. Perception is so key to all of it, I think, to
Yeah, yeah.
success. And
What are you looking at all the time? You can look
yeah.
at and see all the negative things. You know.
Yeah. Um, is there any limits you still haven't broken? Anything that you're still reaching for? I mean, because I would say you've had a pretty successful career reaching out and like motivating
Yeah.
people. What's that thing that you're like, okay, maybe I got 20 more years on the road, but this
I
is the
would like
thing.
that. I would like that. I mean, I'm 53 now, so I'm getting older. It's a little at times I'm a little more sore, a little bit more achy on
Yeah.
things. I'm icing a lot more than I did. I'm doing more. I love golf, and so I was watching the Masters not too long, this not
Yeah.
recently.
This past weekend.
Justin Rose, he's 45, he's considered old, and but all the rehab stuff he does just to get ready for the tournament every round and all that stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm doing more of that now. But I want to be in the game. I want to stay in the game as long as I can. So I think my biggest thing is I want to reach more and do more as I've gotten older. The thing is, I'm speaking more now at 53 than I did at 33.
Yeah.
And so I love that. I love that. I love staying busy and stuff like that. But I need to listen to my body at the same time.
That's fair. Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Especially when you're rolling frying pans. I can't even imagine.
Yeah, yeah. Or breaking the baseball
Or
bat,
breaking a
you're just,
baseball bat,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Do you just have a huge upper torso and, like, very small legs? Is that can I assume?
Well, okay, so I used to joke that I was so super strong on my legs, but I have a knee issue. I have to
Ah,
have surgery on my knee. So I haven't done I haven't done legs in like probably 10 months. So I feel like my legs are super small right now. I was working out in Las Vegas years ago, and I didn't do legs very much. And this guy walks up to me, he goes, "Son, you're built like a horse, big upper body, little legs." And so I always do legs, and so now I feel like I do have little legs right now, but it's in my head, like that happened to you. That was always been in my head. So
well, you're
yeah.
in good I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I think lost one of his first competitions because he had small calves. So then he
Oh
just cut the leggings off all his sweatpants. So when he'd go to the gym, he'd have to look at his calves.
wow, I
And
didn't
then
know
he would
that.
work
That's
his
a great
calves out
story.
twice a day. Yeah,
Yeah,
so he
yeah, yeah.
yeah. Well,
That's funny.
we call this podcast A Heart for Space. So I guess for the last kind of question, what is the space inside yourself or in the world, I guess, that you're still reaching for? I mean, it seems like, you have a successful marriage, thank goodness. Your daughter is grown now, which is great, right? You've had a family, you've raised your family. You're doing successful talks. Is there somewhere that you haven't reached? Maybe it's a group of people or a location or something that you're like, this is the place I wanna at least talk one time. Maybe we can help make it happen.
Well, that's funny. I tried this year. There's one place that was on my heart, and I tried every avenue. Reached out to everybody I knew, government of people that I've worked with, all this stuff, and everyone said it's just not possible. It was North Korea. I wanted to do schools in North
Wow.
Korea. And I
Yeah.
tried, and there's just Americans just can't get in there right now. It's all shut off.
Yeah.
I tried every avenue. And so, yeah,
That's an
that was my
incredible
one.
one. I didn't expect that
Yeah.
answer, but I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the one I tried. Cause I've done a lot of things in different countries, and I've been in the different wars, areas in the most recent years since 22. I've been in all the war zones that are going on in the area so yeah. So I've been in the areas where I've been speaking, had to stop because a ballistic missile is coming in or something's happening. And so I don't get afraid of that stuff, and so it doesn't really
Yeah.
bother me. If I feel like I'm called in my heart to go there, I don't ever worry about it. And
Yeah.
so I use caution. I don't worry about it. But that's in space wise. You're talking about somewhere you can go to. That would be the place that it's been in my heart to go, is to do some schools and help the kids in North Korea.
I mean, I think you have, you said maybe 10, 20 years left. You got some mileage left, and the world's changing.
Yeah, for sure. No, things can change in a heartbeat. Who
Yeah.
knows what's going on? I've been pretty fortunate to stand before some important people, from presidents to prime ministers to, royal families and stuff like that. And so it's been really an honor. I can't believe the kid who ate lunch by himself now has friends all over the world, And I just want to say too, as we wrap up our time, maybe you're a parent who's watching this, you have a child with a learning disability or speech problem or ADHD or even autism. I want you to hear me. You heard all the accomplishments I've had in my life, and I still have my stutter. I still have all my issues. But I just want to say this, if I can make it, they can make it. To the parent that's hearing, you're watching, you're frustrated or you're tired, please know there's hope today. Don't ever give up on the student. There's always hope.
That's beautiful. Well, I think I will conclude it here. We'll put a link to your website and your book
Oh, thanks.
down there. So if people are interested, I think they should definitely check out your stuff. It's
Oh,
pretty meaningful and impactful. So thank you so much
thank
for
you.
coming here today, John.
What an honor. Thank you. Thanks for being my friend too.
Thank you for listening to A Heart for Space. If you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode, and consider leaving us a review to let us know your thoughts. For more on my work in the pursuit of ambitious goals, visit ourheartforspace.com and look out for my upcoming book, Our Heart for Space. Until next time, I'm Dr. Eiman Jahangir. And remember, sometimes the only obstacle to achieving an impossible dream is the courage to keep going.